So we're in Malaga today and the weather looks pretty good outside. The captain made an announcement this morning and said that it was going to be 25 degrees C, so that's a lot better than it has been on the days previous to this in the cruise. Last night after the gig I was sat with some passengers and the subject of pirates came up, so obviously I ended up relating the story of the Somali pirate attack that we had a few years ago. I recently told this story in one of the live streams, but just in case you didn't know, when I was working on here before, from 2008 through 2010, we got attacked by Somali pirates in the Gulf of Aden, and that was in the middle of a world cruise. So it was a world cruise, I think it was 2009, so it had been roughly about March 2009. We got attacked by 3 gunships, and the attack lasted about an hour. Nothing happened, you know, it was all much ado about nothing really in the end. In hindsight, it was, you know, quite exciting and it's something fun to talk about, but at the time it was quite scary, you know, you just don't know what's going to happen. All cruise ships that transition that Gulf of Aden have to be pretty much prepared for any kind of pirate attacks, so in the week leading up to that, you'll usually do some drills. The drills usually involve everybody moving into the centre of the ship into something called safe haven. There'll be designated areas for that, and that's in case any rocket launchers or guns are fired, and you know, so people don't get shot or blown to kingdom come by a RPG. The most famous cruise ship attack is probably the Seaborne Spirit, and they did have an RPG fired at them, and one of the guys on board got shot, and that was quite a dramatic attack. On the cruise when we got attacked, there was actually a cellist, a good friend of ours, that had been on Seaborne Spirit, and you know, we knew all about his story about being on Seaborne Spirit when they got attacked, and when we got on for that world cruise, he was on there. It was like a bad omen, him being on there. We said, God, what are you doing on here? You're going to be going through there again? And he's like, oh, I've got to face my fears, man. Because he'd been, you know, it shook him up so much. Anyway, on the evening when we got attacked, we were just about ready to go up and do the gig. So it was probably 6, 7 o'clock, something like that. And, you know, we got the bing bong, the notification saying, you know, everybody to safe haven, this is not a drill. We were all like, oh, this is going to be a bit freaky. So luckily, the place where we all had to meet up was not far from our cabin door. We just walked out the door and we were pretty much there, and we were pretty much the first on scene, apart from the cabaret that I was talking about, Andrew. He was already there with his life jacket and everything, just sat there. He got there instantly, and he was just, you know, he was completely panic stricken. He'd been on it, you know, he'd been involved in the pirate attack on Seaborne Spirit, and there he was again getting attacked, you know, on here. Down in the bowels of most cruise ships in the crew areas, there's usually a really long corridor, they often call the M1. So we all had to assemble there, and you know, everybody was there on scene within minutes. When these attacks happen, everybody has to sit on the floor because the gunships that attack are only really small. So a large cruise ship, if they do a certain set of manoeuvres to create a lot of wake in the water, it can actually throw these gunships off, or at least, you know, keep them at bay. So the captain and cruise director kept us up to date with notifications from the bridge, and yeah, it all lasted about an hour until we met up with the US Navy. So they were on scene pretty quick, you know, considering we're at sea. You know, we had to meet up with them. I think we were rendezvousing at a certain point, and you know, then the pirates, off they went. So in the end, nobody got hurt, nobody got shot. It was all much ado about nothing, but at the time it's quite scary, you know, because you don't know what's going to happen. I've got to say, the crew and the bridge staff did an amazing job in keeping everybody calm. It was one of those situations where it's really easy for panic to set in with some of the passengers, but or the crew even, but you know, everything stayed calm. It was pretty good. After the attack, the company pretty much wanted to keep everything quiet, you know, so that they could have their own PR, deal with all this stuff. But unfortunately, one of the girls, I think from the spa, and I can't remember exactly who it was now, managed to ring her boyfriend just before they had a bit of a blackout on all communications. And of course, he just went straight to the newspapers, and the next day it was all front page on the Sun newspaper. So you know, that didn't work very well. and didn't go down very well with Fred Olsen. Just after the attack, we were due to play on stage upstairs, so that was a little bit of a strange gig. We had to go straight up there and start playing, and we were thinking, oh, this is just going to be terrible, this isn't going to go down well at all. But it actually turned out to be the best night we had on here, because of course everybody was so stressed after what had just happened, so everybody just rushed straight to the bars, and it's like do 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 do. So everybody was drinking, everybody was merry, and before you know it, we got a full dance floor. The next port of call after the attack was Salalah in Oman, so the US Navy accompanied us there, and you know, we felt a lot safer with those on side. A lot of people talked to me after the attack saying, oh, you must have a lot of armed guards on board when you're going through there, but by all accounts we actually don't, and there's no, you know, armory on board or anything like that. The main weapons used to fend off pirate attacks are actually hose pipes, so they've got really powerful pressure washers that they can use to you know, fend them off when they're trying to come up on board. Apparently they also have those sonic weapons. I don't know anything about them, I don't know what they're called, but there's supposed to be some kind of sonic boom kind of thing that they use, and apparently that was used during the Seaborn Spirit attack, so whether they've got those on board I'm not sure, but apparently we don't have any special forces on board or anything like that when we're transitioning. I mean, maybe they do, but they just don't tell us. But you know, as far as I know, there's no soldiers on board, there's no special forces, there's nothing like that. I didn't see Steven Seagal in the galley, put it that way. One of the upsides to getting attacked by the pirates was all the free drinks that we got when we got round to America. It was a world cruise, so after we'd just crossed the Pacific, we came to Alaska, and I think it was in Skagway. We were in a bar there. The girl behind the bar was asking where we were from, and you know, we said the cruise ship, and then she said, oh, one of the cruise ships recently got attacked by pirates, and we're like, yeah, that was us. And she was like, no! So we sat there relating this story about the attack, and she got so engrossed in it, and you know, while we're having some drinks, and that was it. She said, drinks are on the house. So yeah, thank you, Somali pirates. Well, this is a nice place to stop for a coffee. Nice view. As you can see, it's a really nice day. We've just been for a coffee. Now we're heading back to the ship. Gracias. Just stopped in at another bar. We're working our way one by one back to the ship. So today, as we went out, as nice as the weather was, I didn't wear any sun cream, and that's the result.